Hey everyone, Robin DeGroot here with TLC, Truth, Love, Creativity. And today I'm going to do a reading for Tuesday, March 31st, the end of the month. Getting all ready for the beginning of April. So this deck is Energy Oracle Cards, and it's by Sandra Anne Taylor. The artist is, let's see, cover design is Tricia Breidenthal. Cover illustration is Jena DellaGrottaglia. Yeah, so I always like to know who the artists are as well as the authors. I am always in the works of making a deck myself as the author and the artist. So someday I will have that for purchase, and I would love it if you take advantage of that. Okay, first card, appreciation, 15, that adds up to 6. It's upright. This one is caring connections, 14 adds up to 5, and it is reversed. Door to value, 31 adds up to 4. So appreciation, I think this goes along with a lot of the themes of feeling gratitude right now instead of fear. And really, this is a number that adds up to 6. So 6 is always about caregiving, healing. It's a number about service, basically. So I think appreciating what we do have, that we're all in some state of, like, the physical world is not actually falling apart. So that's one big bonus. This isn't a natural disaster in that way. And I think that's something to take heart, which is really nice to think about. I know it's difficult to feel gratitude when you aren't sure where things are going to go and how things will be paid. I think I do appreciate myself that there is some assistance from most governments and that they will try to help people in this time to just keep as many people safe as possible, and also to keep the financial lives and the structure of our lives safe as well. So there is all this beautiful landscape here. When I've been walking, I've been noticing the wildflowers, which are amazing. I really love his artwork because it's like this classical dress. And I do like to do art that is flowers and nature and trees and things like that. So this is really beautiful. Just appreciating nature, appreciating health that we do have, and that we have medical systems that can keep people healthy as much as possible. That is something definitely to be grateful for, and it's something that we can try to, like, help out, that it doesn't get overwhelmed. That's the goal of this next month and whatever becomes beyond. But it's always so that there's enough of the real healthcare for the people who seriously need it. So this is also roses in this picture. So it's kind of good to notice that you're noticing the beauty. She's appreciating the beauty instead of, like, she could be picking these thorny branches and instead focusing on the negative, which that definitely adds insult to injury, and it really won't help the situation right now. So I think in keeping with this number, this is the number 6, and appreciating what we have, doing gratitude journal, that might actually be a good thing to do right now. and basically the thankfulness for what you can focus on that is good. I think that's going to help no matter what right now. So I would say to see the things, if you can't see them, then I would make a concerted effort to write a gratitude journal or something. And just be happy that you can have people to talk to online. We have all this technology, that's really nice. We have phones and we can actually still communicate and reach out. Now the middle card is carrying connections. It is reversed. 14 adds up to 5, which is usually a number about freedom and adventure. And if this card were to be upright, it looks like a very loving couple. And carrying connections, you're taking care of each other. Now it's reversed because I do think that talks about the times and the energies of today where we want to be caring to people and sometimes it's just not possible right now. Because if someone is in hospice, for example, there's many people who can't even see those people because the risk is too great. So there's this whole idea of this is being thwarted, like it's really not as easy as it normally is to be caring to the people we love. And we may not be physically together with them. So if that is the case, then I do recommend trying to reach out online in some of these ways. Also, there may be issues because of these distances, either with physical distance or just within relationships in general. And now we're kind of being put together in really close quarters. So this kind of portends like a little bit of a rift somewhere. So it could be physical, could be emotional, could be mental. It could be how you've thought of each other and that there is a danger of kind of coming apart with the friendships, relationships, love relationships, all those type of things. So in some level, maybe certain people's situation is coming close to an end, but this can also mean like if there's danger there, then make sure you're aware of it and try to keep that from happening. So I think especially in this time, it's probably not the best time to make big moves. And remember that this is not our regular schedule. So we have to be extra compassionate, basically extra considerate of other people's nature. And that's partly why I recommend to try to do astrology readings right now and actually find out more about yourself and your partner and your dynamics together. And then numerology, same thing, because it can give you a bit of an insight into how you really operate on the inside. Without whatever you tell people, it may not be the same case. So if you do get this to be working, then this 14 adds up to 5, which is really about freedom. And that's kind of another good way to look at this card, because it's 5, it's freedom, but right now it's reversed. So like we really don't have the freedom. We don't have the possibilities to do all the adventures we normally like to do. Can't necessarily have our group outings and together partnership outings. Everything's kind of the same. Maybe it's just TV or something like that. I don't know. So I do think we have to try to be creative, think about extra efforts to think of the other person as well as yourself in this situation, because everyone is not used to these same patterns right now. And then hopefully the freedom and adventures will be able to come in some small way in the situation right now, and eventually later more again. So this is the door to value. It's 31, it adds up to a 4. which 4 would normally be a very stable number. And let's see this card upright. So this is a doorway with lots of dollar bills of different currencies floating through it. And these are these beautiful curtains that look like they're in a theater. And then outside of this is, it looks like a beautiful castle kind of in a meadow or some older building that's got value and classical value to it. This is I Ching, actually, one of these symbols. And then I see like Canadian currency or Dutch currency. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, I think this is a card that talks about our own perceptions of value and how we can provide value to the world. And it could be in our businesses, it could be in our own relationships and our life, and these little things we do every day. But it's reversed, and that actually makes a lot of sense. Right now, I know many entrepreneurs and self-employed people, they are used to being in service to others, and their programs, a lot of them, like my programs, a bulk of them are in person. So I do a lot of body work. I do things that are in person with people. So I think this is like those old structures or whatever we've been doing is upside down. It's topsy-turvy. It's all being thrown for a loop. It's not really working, and we need to find new ways to create value. So that's one of the ways that, like I suggested, even getting astrology done and numerology, some of these things to help you right in the here and now. These can be done online, and a lot of video calls and conferencing and coaching is happening. I'm doing that. I've made a pretty good offer for just right now that's definitely, I think it's accessible, and maybe more once some of the assistance comes in. But basically, I think when we're trying to be holistic and keep our minds also, basically keeping our minds, our emotions, our physical, our spiritual all in line and okay right now, then this is showing that the old ways of doing things are kind of like closing the door, and we are opening the door to a new possibility, a new way to even work. And I don't think that it's a bad thing. I just think we definitely have to be open to new things. And instead of everyone's like maybe holding their breath and just waiting till this is over and then be exactly as it was before. Well, I don't think that's actually going to be the case. And I don't think anything can ever be exactly the way it was before a major event. So I think the events that happen in our world are actually quite, they're part of the universal order of things. They can be auspicious if you look and wait, right? This silver lining coming out of the dark clouds. And I just think it really has to do with being open to new ways of making money, trying to provide value, and seeing the value in some of the things that are out there that you never really considered valuable before. So this is a lot about opening up your heart, your mind. Money is a commodity, but so is love, time, and all of these things that are poured out in other generous ways that, like, some people think right now any of the coaches offering anything is just, it's just like not the time. And they're thinking that's inappropriate, which I disagree, because a lot of them are basically going through a similar situation, except that they weren't working for a big company. So there's going to be no sick leave, no sick pay. It would only have to be waiting what might come from the government, or else it's whatever they've already built. And if they have very good systems, then to offer that now, discounted, or some things, they're offering a lot of ways to use technology, so that's often free. These are just workshops, and I just think that's actually quite giving to offer these things and try to help people who are struggling because they've never really used those things before. So these are all different ways of looking at things that can help you feel better. And I think as the full reading, if you take the appreciation and you're trying to see that there is good in this situation, you just have to focus on the good, not the thorny spikes and all the negative. And that, and keeping that in mind, keep the connections. You have to foster them, you need to work on them, you need to see from another's point of view and understand that it can't be as free and open as it normally is, and that you have to be creative. And then that leads into this one too, which is the creativity and the perception of value needs to be a little opened up so that we can understand that there's value in a lot of different things in the world. The info technology type of world is a huge part of our society now, because we have to learn so much to keep up with things. And being taught is still a service from someone. So just like I was a teacher, as a Montessori teacher for many years, but now as I work into coaching and body work, I'm still teaching. I still teach about being holistic, and I really want people to see what they can work with their own self, and definitely see the good parts, and then get to the bottom of the parts that are negative and being able to release that. So if we add all the numbers up, this one is 6 plus 5, so we have 11 plus 4, 15. So that is 6. Again, the second day, we've had 6 as the overall number. And that again is healing and service and basically caregiving. So it's kind of interesting. I wonder if the entire week is going to be similar to this. So I hope everyone has an awesome day. I'll try to be getting these out earlier. The next 2 days, there is a big expose online with my entrepreneur group, the Celebrity Marketing. And if you're interested in hearing stories about our lives and what led into a lot of our work now, which comes from a passionate place, then definitely check me out on Facebook. My main profile that I use is my personal profile, the business one a little bit, but the personal profile, I'm Robin, R-O-B-I-N, a big capital D and then a big G stuck to it, and then R-O-O-T. So that, look for that if you want to try to get on that webinar tomorrow, and it will be starting around 1:30 p.m. Pacific, and then different stories, different people coming on, all the way until 6:30 p.m. So that's Pacific time. And Suzanne Summers is going to make an appearance. It's going to be on both days, tomorrow, the 1st and the 2nd Thursday. So if you can jump on and this free connection, I don't even know, I don't think you have to register. You just jump onto the web link. The Zoom link should be out there. That's one thing, to maybe have some fun and ideas about how to take your pain and turn them into your passion and your purpose. So I always think those are important things. And otherwise, I just hope some of these things online are helping people. I do find myself, I tend to watch videos. I like to listen to just more of the big picture, the universal stuff. So I do watch a lot of astrology videos. I like to look at tarot and oracle cards, all those type of readings, because for me, it's always something bigger. What's going on right now, it's creating change that is probably long overdue. And to take from it growth and a bigger way of being, bigger in our own sense. So I hope we can bring love and more service to everyone and really have the care. So that's it for today. Share these videos, subscribe, and you will be helping me a lot as well. Thank you, everyone. See you all tomorrow.